Welcome back. Since 2023, Northern Illinois University's Edible Campus program celebrates success getting its students fresh food with the help of ComEd. WIFR reporter Bria Walters talks to representatives from NIU about the success and what's next for the Hydropod.
This benefits NIU, but how this gets used as a research study itself.
Sustainability and fighting against food insecurity is Northern Illinois University's mission with its Edible Campus program. With the help of ComEd and the Electric Power Research Institute, NIU opened a Hydropod as a part of the fight.
Our students really get this diverse perspective of how do you grow food and how do you grow food in urban areas.
The 40-foot by 8-foot box may look like a standard shipping container, but inside you'll find a self-contained hydroponic farming system that produces food year-round. ComEd installed 4 pods throughout the region in 2023. Data was collected from its first 16 months to help inform future container gardening efforts.
Things that we all encounter here in Northern Illinois and that can hinder our growing experience from being 365 days a year, we don't have to experience with the Hydropod.
Inside NIU's pod grows a variety of leafy greens, which are distributed to campus dining halls to keep students fed with fresh food.
I think that this is going to continue to benefit not just our students in terms of producing really fresh organic foods for them in the dining halls, but also alignment with the university's mission around teaching and research long term.
The pod will stay on campus, and Courtney Gallagher, NIU's Campus Sustainability Director, says the university is excited to see what happens next.
Faculty members that are itching to get in there and start their research projects of their own.
In DeKalb, Bria Walters, WIFR News.
The other 3 hydropods are located in Chicago's North Lawndale, Englewood, and Bronzeville neighborhoods.